So, originally I wanted to make sure that we were telling the stories of Geralt, of course. The show is called The Witcher, and Geralt is the Witcher. But Yennefer and Ciri were important to me as well, because it really is a story of a whole family, and we need to make sure that we're understanding all of those people to fill out that family. I'd had an idea originally of starting the entire series with Lady of the Lake, which is the next to last book in the saga, and telling that sort of in flashback through Ciri. But what I realized really quickly is that if I was doing that, the stuff that happened before Ciri was alive, I wouldn't really be able to explore that in the right way. So I scrapped that idea really quickly and moved on to what is now currently in the show, which is starting with the collection of short stories, The Last Wish, which really are Geralt's adventures and setting up the entire foundation of the world. What we've done, though, is just bring Ciri and Yennefer's stories up a little bit. Well, that's the key to fantasy. A lot of people think about fantasy as escapism, but I think it's kind of the opposite. I think fantasy is, of course, it's a fantastical environment. That's the idea. There are monsters and magic and things that we don't get to see in our everyday life. But we as an audience need to be able to relate to them. So that's where I go back to character, really, is if I can have these three people walking through this world where they all feel lonely and alone, that they don't belong anyplace, then start bringing them together and have them start to choose each other and come together as a family. That's something that an audience can relate to, no matter where they're from, no matter sort of their upbringing. And to me, it's like that's sort of the key to fantasy, is making sure that an audience anywhere can tune in and say, I see myself in that show. I think what's weird is if we're talking about fantasy reflecting our real world is not all one color. We're not all walking in the same place with the same experience. We don't all sound the same. We have different accents, we have different skin colors, we have different ways of dealing with situations. So to believe that the continent of The Witcher is somehow small and narrow and everyone looks the same and acts the same and sounds the same, it's not actually serving the fantasy element. So yes, it was very much a conscious decision. In terms of casting, though, we also wanted to make sure that we were getting the best people for the roles. It's why we chose to do a worldwide casting call for the main characters, is because no one should be held out from being Geralt. If you have the soul of Geralt and the spirit of Geralt, then that's what we're looking for, more than a specific hair color or eye color or skin color. Absolutely. I mean, again, I think, especially as we get deeper into the stories, season 1 covers a lot of years, but it's only taking place in a couple of cities throughout the continent. As the series continues, we're going to more and more cities. We're finding different places that we've never been. From the very beginning, we have had a credo of casting anyone, and I think we'll just continue that. And I think our world is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.